We've got Brent Ray Fraser joining us this afternoon, the Naked Artist. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I should say your show is called The Naked Artist, your show at the upcoming Adelaide Cabaret Festival. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a 45-minute show, and it's going to involve several types of penis art forms that I've kind of come up with specifically for this show.
What was your inspiration for your Adelaide audience? Did you, I don't know, well, what sort of things are we going to see? What sort of paintings, rather?
Some big paintings, small paintings, fast paintings, landscapes, portraits, animals, self-portraits, interactive art, a little bit of song, a little bit of dance.
Beautiful. But you don't sing, do you?
No, I don't sing, and I don't know why I said song. Probably because
Well, you got the music.
I'll be singing along with the songs.
Absolutely. Now, look, your art form is absolutely interesting and fantastic. We all sort of admire what you do, and I think you bring to the forefront the things that we don't really, people are a bit afraid to talk about, and I think that's why you're so popular globally, because you just put it out there. It's all about art, expression, being yourself, and people are attracted to that.
Yeah, it's me at my most vulnerable state, and just expressing myself using my body and a lot of paint.
That's right. Now, you definitely have to work out and look after yourself for this sort of work, which you clearly do. You're being healthy, obviously eating healthy, exercising. Walk us through your average day.
Oh, I wake up, I eat, sleep, and breathe fitness. My life revolves around health. I have health issues myself that kind of, were like a blessing, you could say. I was diagnosed with kidney disease in my mid-20s, and I had to change the way I ate food, let's just say, and in order to prevent the inevitable kidney transplant. So everything from that point on just kind of transformed the way I thought about the body, the way I thought about using my body, and in the long run, what my body is capable of doing artistically. Yeah.
And it's interesting, isn't it? When things like that happen, I think it brings us to a new awakening, like live more in the moment and just go for it. The things that we want to do it, when we're faced with challenges.
Definitely. I live by the phrase carpe diem. I see absolutely every single moment in the day, and I transform it into art.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I understand you really love color. I mean, are you liking the color I've got back here? Because I read that your house is full of color, candy collection, lava lamps and things like that. And I thought, you might like the color behind me.
I do, actually. That lava lamp's quite beautiful.
Yeah, it's a pink one. I should have turned it on earlier, because then it would be moving more.
Bubbling, yeah.
But just a little bit about yourself. Always interested to know about, guests and that sort of thing. So I understand you have an artistic family. Art is in your family?
That's correct. My mom, my first experience with art was my mother. And she was a landscape artist. She worked with oil paints. And my great-grandmother also was into watercolors and landscapes. And it stems all the way back to Thomas Gainsborough, who's a distant relative of my mother's side. And for those of you who don't know this gentleman, he painted the Blue Boy, and he was also a pretty prolific landscape painter himself.
Yeah,
so, it's in the blood.
Absolutely. It always is, isn't it, with creatives and artistic people, musicians, dancers, painters?
I think so, yeah, I think so.
Now, is it true that you recently painted some of the royals?
Some of the royals. It wasn't too recent. I think that must have been about 6 or 7 years ago. I painted Princess Diana and the Queen. They weren't sitting directly in front of me, but it was my tribute to them. It was more a tribute to Diane and her death, and just a large-scale painting that just a tribute to the royals.
Yeah. Wasn't she gorgeous, Diana?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. My mother, growing up, she was I don't want to use the word infatuated, but she took a big interest in the royal family and still does. And I think that's where a lot of that inspiration came from.
Mm.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to family.
Hi, Mom.
I read that you're close with your family as well.
Yeah, very close. When I'm not traveling, I spend almost every day with my mom and my parents. I don't live too far from them, so it's a very easy trip to go over there and have dinner with my parents.
Mm. And you speak French?
No, I don't speak any French. All the videos that you see online are just me pretending to speak French.
So what was it like growing up in Canada?
Oh, you know what? I love Canada. I was able to express myself however I want. Let's just say there were, and I live on a farm now, but back then there were a lot more trees and a lot more inspiration, surrounded by mountains and nature. So I'm a huge nature advocate. I absolutely love nature.
Yeah. Nature and animals. I read you like animals as well.
Love animals, love dogs, love dogs. Let's just say.
Actually, when I was driving home from work tonight, I was listening to a YouTube video, and the lady said, what would people, she said to the people in the audience, what would you do if you had 5 hours left in this body? And, she just paused for a moment, and I thought, I would want to hug my dog, sit out in the sun amongst the trees and listen to the birds, like just talking of nature now, like how you mentioned nature, the beauty of nature and obviously animals. And I thought that would be, you'd want to be in a peaceful state. And I thought nature, animals, birds, that just came to mind sort of naturally. Obviously, if I rethink it, I might sort of come up with a better, thing to do for my last 5 hours. But it just is a show of how important nature is to people. People always say they grab inspiration from nature, and it's where we find our peaceful place.
Yeah, I could strongly agree with that. It's invigorating to be around the trees and just to touch the trees and hear the birds. My studio's on a 100-acre farm, and there's a forest just out in the backyard there. And whenever I'm not painting and I need to take a break, I'll go for a walk and either meditate amongst the trees or just stop and smell the roses. I love it.
That's right. Do you do yoga or meditation, things like that?
Love both of those things, do them daily.
Really?
Yeah, I could almost say that I wouldn't be here had I not been doing those things. I probably would have ended up losing my mind a long time ago. Yeah.
Now you're in quarantine, aren't you?
That's correct.
So you've been in that room for how long?
This is 8 days now.
What are you doing to pass your time?
7 days.
7 days. Watching TV, YouTube videos.
I'm not a big TV person. No, I train. I do flexibility training. I've been teaching myself the splits over the past couple of years. So I've been kind of perfecting that so that I could do that in my show. And aside from that, I do a lot of live webcam shows. So I have a large fan base, and they tune in with me every day here for a good 4 or 5 hours. So they keep me company here and also keep me sane.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, we won't talk about the challenges of being in one room, but, it's doable. We come out of it with a new vision. Hey, maybe your performances will be different after, the lockdown. Yeah.
I think so. I mean, and you know what, in all honesty, my studio is, it's a silo, it's a tin can. I'm used to being in small spaces by myself. I'm a bit of a recluse. I'm a bit of an introvert. So this was like a real breeze to me.
Okay. That's interesting.
But I'm coming out of this, because I've been confined to this closed space, I'm coming out very excited to hop on stage and just rip my pants off in front of everybody. I'm very excited about it.
You can't wait, yeah? That's hilarious. Man. Were you always this way, sort of very confident and adventurous? And
no, not at all. I grew up very shy. I was a very shy person, very shy boy. My mom used to tell me stories of when guests would come over and I would literally run and hide until they were gone. Growing up in school and even into university, I had a fear of large crowds, and getting up in front of the crowds, I would start sweating. My face would go red. I'd get clammy hands, and it got so to the point that I just refused to show my work. And this is something that I had to work really hard to counteract. And well, it's brought me here and in front of you. So.
What age was that you were a bit shy still in front of large crowds?
From birth all the way till I was about 26 or 27. So good 27 years of my life. Yeah. And I had to get rid of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So is that around the kidney issue time?
I'm sorry?
Like when you sort of became more sort of confident, let's say, obviously you're not scared of crowds now. Was that around the time that you had your kidney issue?
Yeah, everything kind of transformed in my mid-20s. Everything transformed in my mid-20s, and I wanted to be a famous artist. And in order to do that, you have to be able to be outgoing, to be able to showcase yourself, and put yourself up on a wall like a painting, so to speak. So, it was a long haul, but the one thing I owe it all to performance art. Performance art got me out of that rut, you could say, and putting myself in the most vulnerable position in front of a crowd, completely naked, completely exposed, chucking myself to the wolves.
Wow. Well, what can I say? I mean, that takes a lot of guts, a lot of courage. That's awesome.
It takes big balls is what it takes.
True story.
Yeah. They've grown a lot since then.
Sorry?
I said they've grown a lot since then. That was a bad pun.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Now, just one or two more things before we finish off. You say you don't like labels. You say, I don't even like to be called an artist. Art is just what I do.
Yeah, it's people ask me when I became an artist, and I always tell them I was born this way, because I've always had this talent, and even though I've taken it for granted for a good portion of my life, I don't like labels. I don't like to consider myself an artist, because it is me. This is who I am, and this is how I express myself.
And you also say sexuality is something that is swept under the rug, but if you take that away, will cease to exist, which is true, right?
That's correct. Yeah. I mean, sex is in everything. It's, we are creative beings, and without the creation of life, then, well, there wouldn't be much, let's just say. So me, myself, I consider myself an artsexual. I have sex with art, but not in the literal term, but also in a literal term. It's like becoming one with art, and when you become one with your materials and you create something from that, that's a beautiful thing. And that's what sex is to me, is becoming one with something else, someone. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
no, it does.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So the dates are, do you have the dates?
June 18th, 19th, and 20th.
3 nights. Excellent. 8 p.m.
I think so. I think it's like 8 p.m. to 8:45. It's a 45-minute show. Yep. It's a jam-packed show full of there's a lot of sweat and a lot of stroking, let's just say. A lot of sweat and a lot of stroking.
And a lot of cheering in the crowd.
Oh, I hope so. I can't wait for it all. I'm super excited.
I think they're very excited to have you here. Well, we all are, and you're front and center when you Google Adelaide Cabaret Festival. There you are with your face.
Oh, really?
So everyone knows you. Oh, you haven't Googled it yet?
Oh, I'm not a big Google myself kind of thing, but
oh
I'm
my
gonna
gosh,
do that.
do that. Adelaide Cabaret Festival, and there you are. Boom, front and center.
Wow, that's very heartwarming, and I've got big shoes to fill here, so I'm looking forward to it very much. I can't wait to meet you all.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one last thing, what do you do before and after a show?
Before a show, I take some deep breaths. I pump myself up. I like to stretch, of course. Post show, I mean, well, after this show, I was invited to perform at Club Cumming, special guest appearance there. So post show, I'm going to be getting ready for the next show. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's a lot of hard work, you could say.
Yeah. Do you do a meet and greet after, or do you come out and sign or anything?
Yeah, I'll be doing artist signing, and there'll be some photographs there that people can pick up, and I can sign them. I don't know how close I can get to people, for pictures and stuff, but I'm open to it all.
I think, well, look, don't quote me, but I think it's pretty good here. Things are pretty good here right now.
Really? Oh, that's good. I was actually wondering about the interactive part, because I put together a socially distanced show, and I'm normally used to getting up close and personal, people picking me, and I really hope that happens. So I'm gonna be manifesting that.
So what do people do? They come up. They don't come on stage, do they?
Yeah, people will be coming up on stage. I have some muses that I'll be painting. So I'll be doing a traditional muse setting where each night there'll be one person coming up on stage, and I'll be painting their portrait. And they're also the other interactive part is people will be helping me create some self-portraits that they will take home with them. And what that involves is there's some touching involved, but in between the touching is a canvas. So they'll be pressing, pushing, caressing, and then taking home a gift.
Very nice.
Very excited. Very excited.
Brent Ray Fraser joining us this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Love you all. Yeah.
Woohoo. Woo! Can't wait to see you on stage. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.